Hey there, welcome back. So today we will talk about the bounded type parameter. In order to save some time, I have already added this project bounded type parameter and added this class app. So let's get started and let's create a yet another class. The name of this class would be data and we will make use of key value pair. Now we can definitely make use of T, which is type pair, and the bounded type parameter will apply in a similar fashion, but let's make it a little bit more complex in order to demonstrate you in a better environment. So we will make use of key value pair. All right. So this looks good. And moving forward, we will create two properties, K as in key and yet another property, V as in value. And let's do the usual stuff. So I will right click, navigate to source and generate the constructor using field. Definitely you can make use of getters and setters for handling the object initialization stuff and all, but I usually make use of parameterized constructor in order to maintain the consistency. Alright, let me also generate the toString method and let me also generate the getter method because we might require it. Alright, so this looks good to me. So this is a usual generic class. Moving forward, let me also add in a method. So this would be a public method. The name would be, for example, display. But before that, let us add in the parameters. So the parameters or the argument of the diamond operator would be, for example, element and number maybe. The return type would be void and the name would be display. Alright, and inside parameter, we will require a element and we will receive a number. And let's quickly add in a yet another statement, element colon element. So we are simply displaying the information which we have received. Here we go. So this is good. First of all, we will apply the bounded type parameter on number. Now as n symbolizes a number, we will require to store information in this variable number, only a number. So this is a restriction, right? So for example, this is a programming requirement to bound or to restrict information for a specific type. A number could be an integer, a floating point number, a double number. So how we can restrict a number element to be a number? Let me show you these classes. Now the bounded type parameter is based on classes. Now you can apply the restriction based on a custom class as well, but for sake of simplicity we will take this particular class, which is number. Now for example, if we check this class number, then the direct known subclasses are atomic integer, atomic long, big decimal, big integer, byte, double, float, integer, long, short. The important things are byte, double, float, integer, long and short, and these are the specific numbers which we have. And in fact, the parent class for all of these classes, byte, double, float, integer, long and short, is a number. Now if we apply the restriction on number to be a number, then definitely we will have the restrictions that only these kind of data, integer, long, short, byte, double, big integer, big decimal, atomic long, atomic integer could be stored in the variable number. Now it might confuse you a little. Let me show you how it works. In here, I simply type in extends number. Now what is a number? Number is a class under java.util package, which is already available to us. We need not to import it. In fact, it is inside java.lang package, so it is already available to us. And now we have a restriction that inside number we can have an either of these subclasses or a object of number type, right? Getting my point? So this is cool stuff, right? And in fact, we can extend these parameters using a custom class as well. So you can extend it using a custom class which you have created and restrict the element to be an object of that custom class only or the subclasses of that custom class only. It is a little confusing, but let me show you how this works and the things would be more cleaner in your mind. Alright, so let me create an object of data type. So I will type in data equals new data. and I will pass in key as 1, value as value, so there is no restrictions and we are not dealing with key value pair, rather we will directly call in the display method first of all. Alright, so in here I will type in data dot display. Now the value of element could be anything, so in here I can pass in the text element, and in number let me try to pass in the text number, and as soon as we try to pass in text number there is a issue, and if we hover upon this issue then it will say the method display object number is the type data is not applicable for the argument string, right? So there is an issue and there is a warning as well. So first of all let us get rid of this warning. So let me ask Eclipse to fix the issue. Alright, so in fact it is not giving us a proper solution. The solution is making use of this key value pair and symbolizing the data. So I will type in key as in number or integer maybe, and value to be string, and let us do the same with the information we just passed, and this should fix the warning. Here we go. Now moving forward, in here we won't be able to pass in a string, rather we need to pass in a integer and our error would be vanished. Let me show you the output. Here is the output, which is perfect, right? In fact in here I can pass in a floating point number, there won't be an issue. I can pass in a double, in fact this is a double, and let me type in F in order to make the number as a double. So any number I can pass in here. Alright, so now we will again apply a rule on this E element. Now for example we will apply the rule based on this character. Now we again have this character class, and this character class will restrict the element to be a character only. So let's do that. So in here I will type in extends character, and as soon as we do this there is a compile time error, and now we have to pass in a character in place of element. Suppose we pass in $, and now the error is vanished and we are able to execute the program. So this is how we can apply the bounded type parameter. Alright, so now let's apply the rule on the key value pair directly. To this key value, to be more specific, we will apply the rule as the key value would be only an integer. So let's do that. Alright, and for value we will apply the rule that a value could be an object of app type only. So in here I will type in. Now friends, we haven't applied any logic behind the class app, so don't worry about it. This is simply for demonstration purposes in order to show you that we can in fact apply rule based on a custom class. So this is how we can apply. Now friends, in here we can see two warnings. These warnings are the type parameter k should not be bounded by a final type integer. Final types cannot be further extended. Same is the warning for this particular line where we are applying the rule based on character. Now these classes character and integer are final classes, and the reason why we are getting these warnings is that the subclasses of integer won't be able to used in the key value, right? So if you are 100% sure that the key value needs to be an integer only, or for example in here the e value needs to be a character value only, then definitely you guys can ignore these warning. There is no issue. Alright, so this is cool, and now definitely we need to fix this line because there is a restriction applied. So in here we will type in app, and we will pass in an object of app type. So we will type in new app. Alright, so now we have the getters, right? So we also have a getter for the value pair. Now let me show you how we can make use of this app. Alright, in here first of all we would be add a method, a test method. So it would be a public test method, public void test, and inside this test method we will be outputting a sample text which is testing. Alright, so this looks good to me. And finally, let us try to check whether we are successfully able to create an object of app type in the value, and moving forward, are we able to call in this test method using the object which we have created inside the object data. So little confusing, let me show you how we will do it. So data dot get value dot test. All right, now if I execute the program, the text testing is printed. Now understand this, that inside this object data we also have an object of app type, and using the object app we can definitely call in the test method. And how we can do that? Using the get value method we can get the object of app type, and using the app object we can call in the test method. Pretty cool stuff, right? Now finally let us also try to check the value inside integer, which is the key value, right? So how we will do that? Pretty simple. I will type in data dot get key and we need to print it, right? So in order to print this we need to make use of sys out statement. Here we go, and the value which we have passed was 1, and here is the output. So this is how we can like play with these bounded type parameters, and we can play with the object, and we can have object inside object, and you can do all sort of things. It's all about exploring. It's all about the logical approach, the logical thinking which you can apply in your programming. So this is all about today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I definitely want you guys to practice these things in order to make things rock solid in your mind. Thanks for watching and take care.